This is Jets FM on EOFN as we continue our preview of the New York Jets with episode 4, The Tight End Room, and new coach, Ron Middleton. And Ron Middleton will be looking to resurrect 2 careers and jumpstart 1. And how ironic that Christopher Herndon IV will get us started. Chris Herndon was a 4th-round pick by the Jets in 2018, and his rookie campaign showed so much promise after hauling in 39 passes and scoring 4 times. He also led the team with a 69% catch percentage. But trouble actually began for Herndon during his rookie offseason when he pled guilty to a DWI from an accident that June. It wasn't until the start of the 2019 season that Herndon would receive his 4-game suspension, and a long, difficult road lay ahead. Herndon injured his hamstring getting ready for the season, and when he finally returned Week 10 against the Giants, played 18 snaps, broke his rib, and was done for the season. After dropping just 1 pass on 58 targets heading into the 2020 season, Herndon couldn't catch a cold if he was coughed on at close range. He ended up with 4 drops on 45 targets and even lost both of his fumbles, including one in Week 1 at Buffalo that shut the door on a comeback attempt and quite possibly led to his upcoming slump. But just when it appeared there was no hope in sight for Chris Herndon in 2020, and I was definitely a critic, he made this one nice confidence-building catch against the Chargers, followed by his first touchdown reception in nearly 2 years. And for the rest of 2020, he was back to the old Chris Herndon, snatching 15 of 18 targets and adding 2 more touchdowns, including this, "I'm going to take your best shot kick-ass score against the Patriots in Week 17. The road was long and the penance was steep, but hopefully Chris Herndon has come out on the other side not only a better player, but more importantly, a more responsible person. And we wish him well. He has all the talent in the world, and hopefully one day he'll make Jet fans bypass the name Mickey Shuler. Former Scarlet Knight Tyler Croft returns to New Jersey as the New York Jets' number 2 tight end. A 3rd-round pick by the Bengals in 2015, Croft was on his way to a fine career after a solid 2017 season in which he had career highs in receptions with 42, yards with 404, and touchdowns with 7. After that, though, injuries would take a toll on Croft. First in 2018, he injured his foot, played just 5 games, and then was placed on IR. He signed with Buffalo the following offseason, broke the same foot during OTAs, and was limited to just 6 receptions in 11 games. Then in 2020, Croft would play 10 games, was then shut down for COVID, and never played another down for the Bills. This is a solid under-the-radar signing for the Jets. If Croft can stay healthy, he's just getting paid $1.5 million in guaranteed money. If he gets hurt again, the Jets can always turn back to Ryan Griffin. When Chris Herndon disappeared in 2019, it was Ryan Griffin who ended up with career highs in starts with 13 and touchdowns with 5. Unfortunately, Griffin would go on to have ankle surgery that December and ended up with just 9 receptions in 2020. But overall, he's a good run blocker, solid on special teams, and provides good depth to the unit. And if you think about it, he was the number 1 tight end in 2019 for the New York Jets. He's now the number 3 tight end. So that's a good thing for the Jets. If the Jets keep 4 tight ends, and that's a big if because Trevon Wesco is a hybrid fullback tight end, then it all comes down to Daniel Brown and Kenny Yeboah. Brown led the team last year with 76% snaps on special teams for a career-high 335 special team snaps. He had a career-high 297 snaps on offense in 2019 while filling in when Herndon was out, which is 28 in 2020. He still has a slight edge over Yeboah. The undrafted tight end from Ole Miss broke out in 2020 as a grad transfer under Lane Kiffin's offense, scoring 6 touchdowns with a 19.4 average, and led all tight ends last season with 237 yak. Yeboah also scored a touchdown at the Senior Bowl. He's going to make it at the next level, though. He'll need to do a better job catching the ball, as he's dropped 13 passes on 87 career catchable balls. That's the Jets tight ends unit for 2021. And it's all up to Chris Herndon. He is the difference maker. We know that. And if Chris Herndon can follow that, a couple years late, but if he can follow that rookie campaign, he's got a fresh start. He ended the season really strong last year. And if he can follow up where he ended the season last year, these coaches can do their job, starting with Ron Middleton, to get him to reach a level that he hasn't been at yet, which I think it's there. I mean, I don't think there's any question. I think we've all seen it, that Chris Herndon has a complete other level that he can get to. And if he can get to there, and look, I know a lot of it's going to depend on quarterback play. You know, he can do the very best every time he gets an opportunity to get the ball around his hands, but it's up to the quarterback. Whatever the case may be for Herndon, he just has to worry about himself. And if he does, and it shows, then there's a lot of hope, not just for 2021, but for the future. And again, Croft has got to stay healthy. There's just no doubt about that. If he doesn't, then it's just, you got to rely on Daniel Brown, Ryan Griffin. And I don't know about Kenny Yeboah. I mean, you're talking practice squad. I doubt he makes the team. I just don't. I mean, look, with Wesco as a fullback and a tight end, I just don't see them keeping Yeboah and Daniel Brown. So Yeboah, in order for him to make the team, is going to have to play special teams. He's going to have to prove that he can do it well, good enough, because the talent is definitely there over Brown as far as a receiver. There's just no question about that. So if he can show that he can give effort and be an adequate special teams player as a rookie, then maybe Kenny Yeboah can knock out Brown and make the team. But we'll see. I think it's going to be obviously a lot of fun following the depth of the tight end unit, just like we talked about with the running back unit. And this is why I think it's so far through a few of these episodes, especially the last two, running backs and tight ends, there's a lot of depth and competition. And that's something that this organization has not had in a while. And I think that's what's most promising of all. So thanks for tuning in again to episode 4, tight ends. Next up, episode 5, wide receivers. And that should be also a lot of fun. And that's a deep unit. Corey Davis, what will they do with Jamison Crowder? All of a sudden, the Jets have a boatload of quality slot receivers. Does that pave the way for a trade before the season begins with Crowder? So there's a lot to go over, but it's also a deep, exciting, young unit. And we'll talk about that next, episode 5, right here on Jets FM's preview of the New York Jets 2021 season. We'll see you next time.